Hi, I'm finally doing a tutorial video. Please don't mind my arm and my PJ shirt getting in the shot. I don't know how to record me styling a wig, but today we're going to be styling two wigs using a couple different techniques. First, we're styling a Kirishima wig from scratch. This is a cheap lace front wig from Amazon with a very small lace section. While this isn't ideal because Kiri's whole forehead is out, we're going to make it work. I was actually not expecting the lace to be so small, but honestly, this might be easier to wear than a full lace front wig. The first step is cutting off length with shears. I'm stretching the back of the wig and pinning it down, so I make sure I don't cut too much off. Depending on how long your hair is, your hair could stretch your wig and expose wefts, so we need to be careful about that. Especially since this is a fashion wig, they're not thick in the back. To create volume, we need to tease the entire wig. This is how we will get the wig to defy gravity. First, I hairspray everywhere so my fine-toothed comb has enough grip. Then I pull my comb from the ends of the hair to the cap, knotting the fibers together. I'm trying to be thorough and get all of it. Cosplay wigs are made of synthetic fibers. This means that this hair is plastic. You need a heat source, whether it's a hairdryer, steamer, straightening iron, or crimper. This is my main method, using a steamer, which really gets all the fibers super hot and wet. For some reason, that wet heat works really well. Be super careful with a handheld steamer. If you're a minor, have an adult supervise you. Never ever tip your steamer. Bring the wig to you if you need to steam the entire wig like I am. Do not fill your steamer with water past the fill line or it will boil over and burn you. Now we let the hair cool, then brush it out. We've now successfully trained the fibers to stay fluffy. This is a long process using my fingers, comb, and brush to get every knot out. I'm also going in and re-teasing some areas that didn't get fluffy enough. You can see I'm trying to speed up the process by using a crimper as well in those areas. You can use a crimper and steamer all over the wig as much as you want. If you want a super fluffy wig, the more tangles and knots, the better. Don't be afraid to mess up your wig, this is part of the process. Now that we're rocking with Ronald McDonald, we can start sectioning out and trimming off length. I steam the hair back so I can start on Kirishima's hairline. Spiking hair will naturally be a lot easier if it's short, and a lot of new cosplayers make the mistake of keeping the wig too long because they're afraid of cutting more off. At this point, it's basically sculpting. Just section portions out with hairspray and cut to a good length. I use the steamer to make the hair stay where I want it to, and combing while I steam relaxes the fibers again to make it nice and smooth. This is what I'm doing for nearly all of Kirishima's spikes because we don't want any curly knots showing. Make sure you've combed out all the knots all the way to the base, especially if you're working with a thinner wig like this one. You might have noticed, but as I'm brushing the hair out, you can see dandruff coming off the wig. That's hairspray buildup, which is really visible on darker wigs. Here's a huge tip. Rubbing alcohol will reactivate hairspray. It turns that gross dandruff flake into a clear liquid again, and you can reuse the hairspray that's already on the wig. This way, your wig is super clean and dust-free. I'm being careful on where to place Kiri's horn since I'm keeping some parts down at that hairline where there isn't lace. I use some pins and keep the face framing parts in place, that way we get really crisp spikes. I get all the stray hairs poking out of my spikes and we're done. I usually finalize it with one last dousing of hairspray all over. Now onto the next wig, DENKI Kaminari. This is a character wig from Amazon, so we're taking a much different approach. Usually these wigs are already pre-teased at the base of the wig, but that's not enough for what we're doing. After pinning my wig where I want it, I cut some length off the bottom of the wig. I can already tell it's too long. Usually these character wigs are about an inch too long all over. Then I start crimping. This will completely take all the fluffiness out of the back of the wig, but we'll fix it in a second with our steamer. We're going to be crimping the wig to make it fluffy and stylable. Notice how I'm brushing out the crimped areas with my fine-toothed comb immediately after crimping. I'm using the heat to my advantage to get the crimp lines out before the wig can cool and set them. Now I'm using hairspray and sectioning out some spikes with my fingers. After this, we take our steamer and just lightly put it under our spikes to flip them up. I'm using my comb to shape the spikes. I'm now hairspraying his fluff at the top of the wig and the bangs to prepare to tease. We're taking our fine-toothed comb again and teasing just these two areas to get volume. Then, once we're done, we're going to hit it with the steamer again and let it cool before brushing it out. I'm crimping the bangs to match the back of the wig and brushing everything out. I'm still using a combination of my fingers, comb, and brush to get every knot out. Since DENKI's forehead is actually exposed and I forgot I didn't get a lace front, I was actually a little disappointed, but I had an idea. I did what I do for Toga's wig and I used my comb to make a zigzag part. I'm pulling a piece of hair on the left to the right and crisscrossing another piece of hair from the right and pulling it onto the left. I use hairspray to keep it in place and make sure it's where I want it to be. I'm making small adjustments just so it looks natural. I tuck a bobby pin in the wig to keep the piece to the side. I'm using my steamer to flatten and heat train this part to stay where I want it to. Now I get started on the spikes. After the wig's been crimped, it makes it so easy to just shape it with my fingers. I'm not done being creative yet. I'm using this foam lightning bolt piece that came with the wig and I'm blending it in. I take part of the bang, trim it into a zigzag shape so it lays over the bolt. I then use hairspray and a pin to make the sharp corners. Of course, we hit that with the steamer so it lays super flat. I'm really happy with the unique tricks I did with this wig to personalize it. Pay attention here, I hit the underside of that bang with the steamer and then I put my hand under it to let it cool. I am not steaming my hand. Never put the steamer anywhere near your hand. This is how you can shape stuff, by hitting it with heat and holding it until it cools off. Just a little bit of hairspray and it's solid. Now I'm getting to the weird spikes on his head. This is a combo of hairspray, steamer, comb, and my fingers to get it into a shape I like. If it looks messy, just trim off stray hairs. I was thinking the height may look a little ridiculous on a person's head, so I steamed it a bit to the side to calm it down. I get the rest of the little flippies in his hair with my steamer, some final touches, and we're done. Remember that you may need to touch up your wigs a bit every time you wear them. Don't worry if they come apart a bit, like the spikes. You can just pinch it back together with a little bit of hairspray. Hope this helps. You can apply these techniques to nearly every character with medium to short hair. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video, and remember, be there and be square.